Hello BookTube, just stopping in real quick to do a January TBR. First up we have my ongoing first time read through of Harry Potter, and we are on the Half-Blood Prince. The next thing I'm going to be reading, I don't own a physical copy of it, but I'll be checking it out from my library, and that is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I'm really glad that I took the time this winter to finally sit down and read all of these books. It's been a really eye-opening and interesting experience, and for the most part, a fun one. After that, I'm going to be reading the next book for my Jane Austen read-along, which is Persuasion. Now, I've read this book before. I read it when I was quite young, and I thought it was okay, but I did not have an appreciation for this book until my early 20s, probably. Now it is probably my second favorite of all of Jane Austen's novels, and I am super excited to be rereading it in January. The next book I may or may not get to in January. Right now I am planning on reading it, but it's nonfiction, so there's a good chance it could get pushed to the back burner again, and that is this. It's called Mirage by Nina Burleigh, and it is a book about French Napoleonic scientists and archaeologists digging in Egypt around the time that Napoleon was the Emperor of France. I only learned very recently that actually it was scientists sent to Egypt during Napoleon's reign by Napoleon who unearthed the Rosetta Stone, actually. That was kind of cool. I'm reading this because I want to write a sci-fi novel about an archaeologist adventure hunting prince, and I don't know a whole lot about archaeology, but I loved Egyptology as a kid, and I thought it'd be fun to read a couple books about like archaeologists and archaeology, and we'll see if I get around to it. I'm really bad about actually reading nonfiction, and it usually takes me so long that I kind of give up. And then the last thing I am hopefully going to get to, I'm not entirely sure if I'll get around to this just because I have those two quite long Harry Potter books to read. And this I picked up on a whim when I picked up Six Gun Snow White. It's another book by Catherine M. Valente called Deathless. I've seen one other person on BookTube mention this, and that was Mercedes over at Mercy's Bookish Musings. I don't remember when she talked about this, but I really loved everything else by Catherine M. Valente that I've read, so it just seemed like you can't go wrong. So this looks to be a fairy tale retelling, a Russian fairy tale retelling, not one I have heard of before. Deathless lights up like fire as the young Maria Murevna transforms from a clever child of the revolution to Koschei's beautiful bride to his eventual undoing. Along the way, there are Stalinist house elves, magical quests, secrecy and bureaucracy, and games of lust and power. All told, Deathless is a collision of magical history and actual history, of revolution and mythology, of love and death. I'm glad I picked this up. I hope it's as good as Six Gun Snow White. I'll let you know. So, those are a few of the things that I am hoping desperately to get through in January. Let me know what you are planning to read. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought about them, especially if you've read this, but no spoilers. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!